Got the doghouse off, and here is that temperature sensor that I've been telling you about. Georgie and I put it in like about 2 weeks ago, and I drove 100 miles from and around the cities too for a little bit, all the way back here to Rochester, and I don't think I was circulating any coolant. It was blowing hot air. It was cold that day, about 27 degrees. So I think it was circulating through the heater core, but not the radiator, because when I got home, that radiator was cold. Engine was warm, but not like super duper hot or anything. I was kind of worried maybe my water pump had gotten hurt from that, but apparently that sounds fine too. But I'm not getting any circulation. Now, the thought is that the new sensor that we put in, I'm sorry for the breath here, is too long, because it doesn't match. So I have the original sensor. What I'm going to do is write down, there's a part number or a number written right along the edge of the thread line there. I'm going to write that down, and then go look online for it, see if I can find an exact match for that part. This is not correct, even though it says for 6.2 1983 Detroit diesel. I'll show you the difference. I have the old one out. When I pull this new one out again, put the old one back, I'll show you that, which would mean that that sensor, this is what George thinks, is that that sensor is probably too long and it's cutting the flow off of the coolant. I suppose it's possible. So the only way to really know, I guess, is take it out. And it must be weather planes that they're sending out to look for tornadoes and stuff like that down in down south of here. We could get them here too today, so I want to try and get this done. Okay, so I'm going to show you now the old temperature sensor that we pulled out. And like I say, I did take video of it, but it's on my phone, so I'm going to have to try and get that integrated into this video if I can, to show you kind of what George and I did, what that sensor looks like. But if you see here, there's no, oh shit, always got to try to find a place to clamp this. Here we go. Alright, so if you see here, this is basically flat. Actually, it's a little bit of a indentation there at the top, but the new one I have has like an extra 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch extension on it. Looks like just a little probe coming out of the bottom of this. It fits, went in, but it's not the right part. I did get the number off of the little side here. I ran that through Google, and 83 Chevy G20, nothing. I have seen these, but they're for like friggin' riding mowers and stuff, and maybe it's the same thing, you know, I mean, why not? It's just a temperature sensor, right? So, but that's, I think, hopefully that'll be my problem. Now, the next thing I gotta do is take the old one out, put the new one in before I lose too much antifreeze. It's not that I'm afraid of losing antifreeze to have to get new antifreeze. I got no place to dispose of it. Unfortunately, it's underneath this wire harness here, but I can at least try to get the plug up. Look at all of that grease and oil and nastiness all around my beautiful little van engine here. Let me go get some gloves on and we'll do this properly. So I got a little better angle here. so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. This is the fuel injector, and right underneath there is the glow plug. All right, you can't see it from that angle, but that's one that Matt put in for me. And now this is one that Georgie put in for me. It's the temperature sensor. I have to declip it. Gotta get this thing. Here we go. There we go. Now, Georgie did a really nice splice because the connectors were different, right? Of course they are. Now I don't know yet if I'm gonna replace this or just put the plug in and worry about the actual temperature gauge later on. If I feel that the radiator is getting warm, then I know that this is too long and it was cutting off circulation. Again, I don't know if that is the issue, but that's the only difference since I took it up to the cities when it was fine, and now it runs cold. Unusual problem, isn't it? An engine running cold and not hot. Actually, the engine's probably running hot, but the radiator is cool. Find the right sized wrench. Georgie was able to find it right away, and so was I. So I have the new one, or the old one rather, right here, and I really doubt that I'm going to put on the old I do have the old clips for these connectors here, but I'm probably just going to put this in and start up the engine, make sure we got ourselves a warm radiator. I don't want to go real fast here, but when the coolant starts coming out. So this is how much fluid that I lost. And there's the, well, what would have been the new sensor. Do you see the difference? That entire long bronze or brass piece there is not on the old one. It's just straight flat across. So we will see, I guess. I'm gonna put this here. This I'm just gonna hang on to until later on when I do change all of the fluid. It'll go into the recycled bottle. Really don't like to pollute with my automotive stuff, but sometimes, you know, things happen. I did lose a little bit on the ground, but really, God, not a lot. So I put the bucket in a good spot.